looking like a monster in the middle of the night, standing over me screaming, saying you're always right. Darling, let's be honest. Go ahead and look me in the eyes. This is the last time you ever see me cry. You played me for a fool, thinking I would never have the strength to leave you. Told me you loved me, yeah, that's what you said, but you took me for granted, left my heart for dead. You had my back, but cut it with a knife. You fucked with my head, so now I'm gonna fuck up your life. I'm gonna make it hurt, I'm gonna make it burn, I'm gonna make you wish you never did me dirty. I can show my teeth just like you did to me. I'm much more scary, just wait and you'll see. Have you begging and pleading, crying at my feet, and you made your bed, go fucking sleep in it. You played me for a fool, thinking I would never have the strength to leave you. Told me you loved me, yeah, that's what you said, but you took me for granted, left my heart for dead. You had my back, but cut it with a knife. You fucked with my head, so now I'm gonna fuck up your life. You had my back, but cut it with a knife. You fucked with my head, so now I'm gonna fuck up your life.
What it is, what it was, what it will be. What up, everybody? It's TripleT. I'm back again with a special interview with a very, very special guest. This interview's been in plan, believe it or not, for 4 years, but we finally got it. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the lovely Miss Savannah Dexter. How you doing, Savannah?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Doing good.
Good.
Congratulations on the album. It
Thank
was,
you.
it
Thank
was,
you very much. I
it was
appreciate it.
fire. That was my favorite song, was Monster. That's why I played that one for the
Oh, I
intro.
watched I watched your entire review pretty much with, being in and out. And so I was there to the last where you guys voted and all. So,
I appreciate that.
yeah.
All right, so my interview is going to be a little bit different because
Okay, I like different.
I know that you probably get tired of the same old questions.
Honestly, you kind of have it a little bit easy tonight because I haven't done an interview for like years.
Hmm.
Like I haven't been on an interview with anybody in so long. Obviously, I do my podcast, so I kind of chatty
Well,
Cathy on there. But
what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of read your history, what I found about you, and then if there's anything I get wrong, please feel free to correct me, and then
absolutely,
we'll just go into the questions. Okay?
okay,
All right. So your mom was 17, your dad was 19 when you were born on July 10th, 1996.
yes,
Your
sir.
parents never got married. They were together for the first year of your birth, and then they split up.
Hmm.
You're mostly raised by your maternal grandparents.
Yep.
Your mother kind of was in and out of your life. It was because she was attending school as well as working at night. Your father, on the other hand, jumped into another relationship shortly after breaking up with your mother to your stepmother, who was actually your pre kindergarten teacher.
Yes.
You have two half sisters from your dad's other relationship. Unfortunately, the younger half sister has autism.
Yes.
You lived with your father and his new family from the age of 10 to 14. As for education, you went to University High School in Orange City, Florida, where you played volleyball and you also did some cheerleading.
Hmm.
You have stated that your dad and stepmom's relationship was not the healthiest relationship growing up. You've also stated in the past that your stepmom felt threatened by you and your dad's relationship. And your stepmom only really got along when talking about your real mom.
Hmm.
Your dad also had always put you last to keep the peace with your stepmom. And your song Cinderella, that was released on July 30th, 2020, was about your childhood growing up. Am I correct so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, you stated that your forgiveness when it comes to your stepmom, if she asked for it, you also claim that bad dynamics between you and her also transferred to every single relationship that you ever had. Uh, you went back to your grandparents in the summer before you started your first year of high school. You didn't go to parties in high school. You didn't smoke. You didn't drink. Growing up, your drug of choice was music. The music that inspired you to become a singer was country music from your dad. You used to listen to them riding around in his truck. You also added your mother also helped to introduce you to some of the biggest names in music world like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. You claim to grow you grew up in a really good music environment. Furthermore, your huge music influences are Christina Aguilera, Tim McGraw, and Faith Hill and Carrie Underwood. You did develop a fascination with old country music like Waylon and Willie and the Johnnies after your first marriage.
Hmm.
You started playing an instrument at the age of 13, which was the guitar. You put it down because it said it hurt your fingers. And then you shortly picked it up when you were 18. And the first time you picked it up at 18, you ended up teaching yourself all the notes and chords, and you wrote 15 songs that night.
Hmm.
Um, you always wanted to be on the hit TV show American Idol. You never miss a show when growing up. You also used to sing in your bedroom on the karaoke machine. And when somebody would walk by the room or peek in the room, you would stop singing because you were too embarrassed.
I still do that.
You once sang a song for your high school best friend Tyler by sending him a video song. The song was Stand By, it was called Stand by Sugarland, and you made him cry the first time you sang it in front of him. You made him lay down with a pillow over his head, and the song that you sang to him was Breathe by Taylor Swift.
Yep.
Your breakout song was Raise Hell in 2020. It went viral. You had other viral songs like Sinner Like Me, featuring Bravo Gator. Your monthly listeners on Spotify is 400,650 monthly listeners. You got 637,000 on TikTok, 550,000 on YouTube. The albums that you put out were Savage with 15 tracks, Genesis with 10 tracks, Limit with 7 tracks, Certified Savage 12 tracks, Dex 9 tracks, and Damage 12 tracks. Um, okay, I lost my spot.
Stop it.
All right, the first time that you married your high school sweetheart, you were dating him when you were 14,
Mhm.
and the reason you said that it was an unhealthy relationship, and eventually you all parted ways. The first time Bravo Gator called you, you were staying in Fort Myers, Florida. Uh, when he called you, the next day y'all went to dinner, and you went to his business partner's house. And while there, he said if you trust him, he could change your life in 30 days. And that night, he deleted all your Instagram pictures except for 4 of them, which you were screaming and fighting to.
Very heartbroken about that.
Yes. Let's see. You weren't sure if you wanted to go public with your relationship with Bravo. The reason is, you said, is because you were afraid of the public's opinion.
Mhm.
You're currently married to Bravo. Both of you exchanged vows on 17 December of 2022 at the Don
Cesar.
Cesar
Mhm.
Hotel in South Beach, Florida. Your nuptials, y'all exchanged the nuptials there. You wore a beautiful white gown while your husband was in a black suit. The wedding was an intimate affair with many friends and families that attended. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. I know if y'all want any tea on me, just go to this guy right here. Like, dang, you whipping things out the vault.
I did my research.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty good. I'm impressed.
Okay. So here's my first question. And now I know this might be a controversial question. Why did you
Yes.
diss Katie Noel?
Great question. Okay, so this kind of will have a few parts to it. Um, I knew of the country rap genre, right? So I had heard of some of the artists such as Jelly Roll and Adam Calhoun, a little bit of Brian. Um, but I never really listened. I had zero clue how big this genre was when I met Gator. Sorry, husband, I didn't even know who a Bravo Gator was. So I had no idea his ties into any of this. Um, for those of you who don't know, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but I'm actually a victim of SA and R.
Mhm.
Um, eventually I'll open up more about that in detail, but that's kind of all I've said so far about it. Um, and that affects a young girl, it affects a teen, it affects a grown woman, right?
Right.
And I remember I walked into the studio one day and, Gator and I had wrote a few songs that are, why does my phone always do that to me?
Because you got
um,
an iPhone.
I'm like, come on, I'll be talking something serious and then here comes the thumbs up. Um, we had wrote a few songs and recorded at this point, but I think it was like a week or two maybe into knowing him. And I walked in the studio and he's like, okay, I'm going to tell you this story. I want you to tell me how you feel about it. All he really had to say was Katie lied about this situation, about, being essayed, being art, didn't really know, didn't have too much insight on it, didn't really need to know anything past that, didn't care to. Um, I always like to say, I mean, I had what, just turned 23.
Mhm.
Oh, old. I had just turned 23 and I was healed but unhealed. So when it came to things like that, I would say very much unhealed. It struck a nerve for multiple reasons. One, obviously, lying about something like that from someone who has been through it. I wanted to be a voice on that aspect.
Right.
You don't lie about those things, right? And on the other hand, I had never, like, still to this day, I haven't confronted, brought up, done anything about the things that I had been through in that area. So I wanted to kind of speak up on it and, get maybe my emotions out about the things that I had been through. So yeah, when once he told me that, I was like, what are we doing? You know? And then that's when he said, how do you feel about rapping? And I was like, oh, I thought I was gonna sing a lullaby. Rapping, okay, I've freestyled on beats before. I had never done any hard raps, but I was like, yeah, I'm open to it. And then out blossomed Raise Hell. Um, and you know, at that point, I absolutely stood on it. I was gung ho, and then me and her started going back and forth online, um, and it was uphill, downhill, but uphill from there.
Right. Now, since then, since everything that's happened here recently, you and Katie have actually talked, correct?
Yes, we have.
Have you all been defense at all?
Oh, yes, we have. To my surprise, and this is something else I plan on going, so far into detail with, but I'm the one that reached out. Um, I don't think she ever planned on talking to me or vice versa, but after I've seen things unfold online over the past few years, when all of this started resurfacing again, and obviously we kind of inserted ourselves. We were brought into it a long time ago, so I don't even want to hear anybody say that, but we jumped back into things, and I got a really bad gut feeling. And it started like eating away at me because I remember seeing the picture of her and Adam and her with everybody. And I'm like, what the hell is he doing? I was like, this is about to be a smear campaign. This is terrible. Like, why would he do something like that? I don't care how mad he is at, Ryan. I'm like, this is not okay. Um, and obviously at that point we weren't speaking to Adam at all. So but then I keep seeing everything, and I'm seeing everything play out, and I'm seeing all these other artists feel a certain type of way, and I'm just watching, and I just, after we spoke to Adam, we didn't even talk about her really at all, but it was eating me up. And I'm like, can you see if she's open to talking? Because I feel I want to find out for myself for the first time in this situation
Right.
what happened and if I stood for what was actually right. Because I'll be damned if I find out that I was wrong, um, then I will be making that known and making moves to, reconcile it and make it better. Obviously, she was really hesitant at first. She was like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? And I was like, please just make her aware that I'm not trying to get on the phone and like beef or have an attitude. I really just want to talk. We hopped on the phone. First of all, she had sent me the sweetest messages. So I knew that she wasn't going to be like abrasive or rude. And, the second we get on the phone, I didn't even get two words out. She's like, I just want to tell you I'm sorry. And I'm like, you're sorry? She was like, I should have never dissed you. I didn't want to diss you. My manager at the time was steering me the wrong way. Because I don't know if it's aware or not because the diss was taken down, but she did actually diss me
Yeah.
first, which really amped up for me to drop on her. And she was like, I didn't want to do it. I literally did not want to do it. My manager was like, you're doing this. And out came, her raising sunsets or whatever. And I'm like, why are you apologizing? I was like, I'm sorry. I should have came to you as a woman, um, and talked about it, especially it being such a serious topic.
Hmm.
But, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And although it was destructive for her and it made a monsoon of waves in the country rap genre, maybe it was to give me a platform to bring the truth to light and have enough of a voice behind me and
Right.
enough of people who trust me and believe me because they know what I say is true. So, everything happens for a reason. But yeah, we've talked. Obviously, you get weary about things, but I'm really trying this new, actually I've been wanting to do it for a long time now, but I'm trying this new way of, you know, I can open up to people even if I never thought it was possible. I just know how to navigate better now. So,
Right.
um, yeah, we chit chat every day almost. I'm trying to like see her. Like, I want to meet.
So are you saying that if you didn't diss her, people wouldn't take you seriously if you'd have came out and spoke on it then because you would have been a nobody? Is that what you're saying?
Surely.
Okay.
Surely, because think about, and I was saying this on my TikTok live. the other day. Think about who she was up against,
Right.
which is why she lost in the first place. When you're up against a mass following or someone, I don't know why my screen's doing that. Um, someone with such a big online presence who can literally be told anything under the moon and they're going to believe it. She just wasn't. So who would I have been? Now, me and Bravo Gator, like when we got together, obviously married or not, like the second that him and I met, it was like I don't know how to
Electrifying.
power moves, like I don't know, and it wasn't even intentional. We had no idea where this was going, but something about him and I working together, just like our business, the way that we do things, like our marketing, like it just worked really well. So maybe there was a world where I came in and stood up for her
Hmm.
and it would have worked. But I, now, knowing everything I know now and exactly how that played out, and poor Adam. I mean, he even said it. He was like, "Shame on me," because I didn't ask her. He knew Katie before all that
Right.
mess. So he's even said that. He's like, I should have asked, but Adam made his video and took down Catch Hell, and then all the artists were like, because they kissed the ground that uh who walks on. I don't think it would have worked the same.
Right.
Not saying that it was right, but everything happening for a reason. I think that maybe there is a beautiful outcome to that.
Yeah, because I remember right before you all did Raise Hell, uh, there was an Instagram story, or it might have been on YouTube, where you all was sitting around a table drinking tea or wine or something,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, you were just going off. And I'm like, first of all, who's this lady talking about? Number one, number two, who is she?
Yeah.
And then the the rumors just started spreading all through YouTube. Oh, this is Savannah Dexter. She's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
dropping a diss on Katie, and everybody was like, "All right, let's get it." And that was
Yeah.
one of my biggest reactions back in the day was your diss towards her.
No, it literally. I mean, I- something happened, and yes, I get it. And this is something that when people say, it's like, you know what? I feel like I've been in the game long enough where I can kind of bite back when people are like, "Oh, you made a name off of blah 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 blah." Do you know how much actually goes into that? Like it's not like there was a lot going on even before I dropped the disc.
Yeah,
Gator wasn't even, don't get me wrong, he is very well known from back in the day from Top Dollar with Lex and in Nashville. Everybody
hmm,
knows him. He went to school with the struggle and the jelly rolls and like all of them boys, and he had known Adam. Again, I wasn't aware of any of this.
yeah, he's from Antioch.
Correct. So, he got on his story and started doing the trolling and the talking smack. And then, I did a few videos and I don't think I had tagged her or anything yet because she's the one that started that. But I mean, I went from 4,000 to almost 10,000 followers before Raise Hell even came out.
Yeah,
Like just word of mouth.
facts.
Just word of mouth. His phone started getting blown up. Like everybody was calling him, wanting to know who is this white girl that you say is gonna body Katie, you know? And sure, people could have hated it, but there kind of comes in like, I mean, I
No, it was
I
a fire track.
I feel like for someone who had never rapped before, even though I hear it today and I'm like, I sound like a child, but I feel like I delivered and
Yeah,
I
you
got the
did.
point across. And I had never ever shot a music video. I think one in my life where I was like playing guitar on the beach. So I had never shot a music video to um to the standard that Raise Hell was at. And, I feel like it could have not worked, but it did. I don't think it only had to do with the topic matter. I think there's a lot of things that play into that, you know?
Right.
Um,
I remember Katie's, like, you are right. She did dish you first. If my
yes.
memory serves me correct, it seemed like that disc was like an older track, and she just went in and put some a little bit extra on it because when you look down at the timestamp on the video, it was dated 2 years prior.
Yeah. I didn't confirm that with her or ask because I was always curious. I'm not sure if maybe she moved some lines around, but I definitely know that it was rushed.
Yeah,
I know that her manager was like pressing her, like, get something out. And so I think that's why it sounded the way it did, because remember, it was very muffled. It was just like not mixed very well. And so again, I don't even think that's her fault. I think that's her team at the time who was just steering her incorrectly.
correct.
Um, so yeah, maybe it was an older thing, because she was being told she had to get it out ASAP.
Now, since you and Katie been talking, do y'all plan on ever working together?
I asked her about that the other day. I don't want to give up what I asked her because I actually feel like the internet would shut down. But um I would like to. Obviously I want to clear the air for, the Savages and just everybody who's involved. I really, really, really want to get her truth out there, um, before I do something like that. But, after that, just to put the stamp on oh, I stood wrong. I'm actually on this side. You know what I'm saying? I would like to. And she said she's about it. So
Okay. Now, do you plan on taking the diss track down?
I actually did.
You
So if
did.
you go on my YouTube, the music video is no longer existing.
Wow.
And I told her, I mean, I did that literally in the middle of our phone conversation. And I told her I had already had that in my heart to do it because, again, my gut's one thing about my gut instinct is it does not ever miss. So if I'm feeling like something is off and whatever, 99% of the time I'm right. So, literally in the middle of our phone call, I was like, I already had wanted to do this, but I just wanted to speak with you first so you know it's coming from my heart. And I took the video down. Obviously, the topic page, like the audio, is still up on YouTube. I can't remove that one because it's not actually on my page. As far as the audio track, as you may know, it's a little bit more difficult to get pulled down. I'd have to
Hmm.
pull some strings and kind of rub some backs because, people are getting splits off that and whatever. But there may come a day where I do that. I would like for the whole thing to be gone.
Right.
But for starters, the music video is gone because it is a massive video and I don't want it circling anymore. I stopped performing the song 2 years ago. So it's really the people who know of the song, if they choose to keep streaming it. I know a lot of people were telling me immediately. I made a Facebook status. I was like, I want you guys to go to my YouTube and tell me what's missing. And everybody was like, oh, raise out, raise out, raise out. So a lot of people were supportive. Actually, most people were supportive, to my
Right.
surprise. But they were like, oh, come on. Like, I love that song. Like, can you just keep it up and whatever? And they're like, but I understand, because of what it stood for. And it's like, I know, I'll make up for it, but I don't, it doesn't feel right. It
That's
doesn't feel right.
understandable. At least you stand on your convictions. That's good.
Mhm.
All right. So you're not going to give us any tea on what if you and Katie are going to work on anything. I get it. So let me ask you this: how many instruments do you play, and what are your favorite ones?
So technically, and I was reminded this the other day, technically I can play three, but I don't play one of them anymore. So back in middle school, My stepmom made me take up playing the flute. So it's not one that I ever plan on using again, but I did used to play the heck out of it. It's actually the hardest instrument I've ever played. The flute
Okay.
is not to be messed with. That is very hard. And then I play guitar and piano.
And out of those two, which one are your favorites to play?
Good. Uh, okay, so I want to say guitar because ever since I've had my nails off, I've been strumming the heck out of that thing. But it depends on what I'm wanting to play. Like to me, certain songs just sound so much better on the piano versus the
Mm-hmm.
guitar. But
Because
I know a lot more on the guitar
it,
because I can move the capo and different chords sound differently. I can play so many songs on the guitar. Now, I did take a piano class in high school and I was really like I aced the class. It was so easy for me. I would give anything to not have stopped reading music. I used to be able to read sheet music and then I could just play it. I, once you stop, you kind of lose that. So I know less songs on the piano, but if I were to sit there every week and really,
practice that.
yeah, then I could do it for sure.
Yeah,
It's
because
just in me.
the piano is so elegant.
Oh, I love it.
And
I love the sound of it.
yeah. Okay. So, do you plan on ever doing any more projects with FJ Outlaw?
Oh, coming with the gustos, aren't you? Um, that's such a tough one for me.
Because you and FJ were kind of close when he was with Mako, correct?
Oh God, kind of. That was my brother, man. I was so happy to have like a label mate, and I really enjoyed helping him with like everything. If you see me fidgeting, it's because I keep scrolling down to like see the comments,
Oh, you're
uh,
good.
because he made me turn my phone sideways, which I'm assuming this is better, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I'm like scrolling down just to like
Well, here I can do this. I
see
can put
who's
it on
in
the
here.
I can put it on the screen,
Oh,
and that way
yeah,
you
yeah,
can.
yeah, 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 yeah. Because I kept going down there. I'm like, dang, is anybody in here that I want to be like, hey, what's up? Um, yeah, thank you for that. Okay. So obviously, well, maybe not obviously, FJ made a post recently clearing some air. Um, him and Gator had a conversation, and then after that post, I was like, okay, well, I guess it's my turn. So then him and I had a conversation, and I really truly expected to be a lot angrier, and that's what I told him. I expected to be so angry when I spoke with him, and I just wasn't. It was very weird for me because he hurt me. He hurt me personally before the whole, oh, I went out of my deal and like just all that mess, and then all of a sudden we were each other's worst enemy. I never made it public because I told him I wouldn't. I didn't want the internet like attacking him.
Hmm.
um and while he was my label mate, that just wouldn't have been good for Gator. It wouldn't have been good for his career. I didn't want to do that. So when everything popped off, I was really hurt. I didn't still kept my word and didn't air him out online because I could have easily just how everybody knows how I was back in the day, and it's still in me. I just pick and choose my battles.
Right.
But oh my gosh, I was just like, I could have just drug him all over the internet, right? And he knows that, but I didn't. I literally shut up. And, just everything with like him and Bunny, like it was just a lot. And I was stuck in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And so, after talking with him, it's like he speaks differently. And I don't feel like I'm at a point in my life where I'm easily manipulated anymore. But he speaks just differently.
He does.
So the words he was saying to me, I was like, okay, I can like understand that. I can not see your side, but maybe forgive you. And I know I'm like running around your question, but that's because I don't know how to answer it. It's my like my heart would want to, even the business side of me would want to, because
Right.
I mean, I break down is literally still on my top stream. You want to know how annoying that was whenever I hated him? I'm like, take it down right now. Um, it's like I would want to. I have a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for?
Resentment.
No, like caution to wanting to do anything with anybody.
Right.
I think I'd be more apt to do things with certain people. It's I don't know. Yes and no. Yes and no. It just makes me nervous.
Well,
Precautious. Like it makes me just like, okay, I'll put myself out there again because I know that it would go off. I just something about every time I do like a feature or something like that, or even if he were to come, I just know because
right.
everything that's happened with us, and I his music is good. I told him that. I'm like, that's the one thing I can never take from you. Like you're talented, bro. Like you really are. Like we could have done crazy stuff together. So maybe I would love to have it to where I was telling Adam this, to where everybody is freaking working together again. I don't really want to be stuck in the country rap genre because as you can see with like my new album, like that's me, you know?
Right.
But don't think I won't, pop it down, crack it down on a beat and have fun with it. And, I was telling really everybody I've talked to, like, when it was good, when like those days were when my career first started. Not to toot my horn or Gator's horn, but we caused all these waves. And then all of a sudden it was like, got him talking, can't never could, big trucks, everybody's working together, not just on my
Hmm.
page, on other pages. Then here comes FJ. Everybody's following and sharing and liking. And like it was just, it felt better than everything that's been going on the internet now.
Well, I'll say this. I don't know if you know this or not. 4th of July weekend in North Carolina at Soul to South Festival. I think that was the first step of getting everybody back to what it used to be. It was a Saturday. Adam was headlining, and he literally called everybody up on the stage that was an artist and shared the stage with them. Took a big group picture, and so many artists like, man, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Never seen anybody do that. They put he put his ego aside just to bring up the smallest artists all the way up to to Hard Target to Chad Arms, all these different artists up on the stage at one time, and I believe that was the first step to get to where you wanted what was talking about.
I never saw that, but I mean, that's cool of him. I feel like other people close
Yeah,
to his position wouldn't do something like that, or they do it and then they rip it away. And
right.
I don't understand that. When I came in, I was all about sharing. I mean, I was like on fire. It was just crazy. Like everything was just boom, 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 boom. And I had no, issue like sharing that. And of course, I got taken advantage of. Wish that wouldn't have happened, but I think that's dope. I think it even took Adam a while to get to that headspace. You are who you hang around. So
Hmm.
like I was telling him, you're crazy because you really fled to someone's aid who was essentially just taking you down. When nobody has really had bad intentions. I never had bad intentions. Gator doesn't have bad intentions. I don't even think people like FJ or any of these other artists had bad intentions. I think things get miscommunicated
Right.
and spun around, and then which is something that we are doing from this point moving forward. If you have a problem with somebody, like nobody talked about it. It would just like, okay, and then oh, we're not fucking with each other no more.
Right.
Instead of communicating and getting to the bottom of it, because even the best of relationships, the best of friendships go through stuff. You have to talk it out. So I feel like, yeah, that probably was the start. I know he did that big album thing
Yeah, and you said
with
in November.
everybody,
Yep.
and that was really cool. So Yeah, I feel like that's when it was the dopest. That's when I was like, okay, wait, country rap is like a cool genre. Like I'm cool with being here.
I don't know if you remember or not, but the first time I interviewed Bravo was back in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all were in visiting Nashville, and one of the things he said in that interview, I didn't press him on it, but now hearing what you're saying, it makes perfectly sense now. And I quote, he said, we're showing love to everybody, but we're not getting any love shown in return.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, and you'll probably hear me reference so much, but when the conversations that I've had, that I never thought that I would have. Um, when I'm talking to them, I'm like, okay, so putting all this animosity aside, think about how I felt. I know I'm like, I've been in the game. I'm about to go on 5 years, right? So it's not like my first merry-go-round anymore. I've grown up around the music. I don't know everything, but I know enough. I know more than I did when I started.
Right,
And, but let's rewind back to when it all started. I'm like, put yourselves in my shoes. You guys had been here already. All of them had already been a part of the game. I hadn't. I was like the new freaking girl back in high school. And I didn't know nothing about nothing, right? I just knew I loved music. And, I say thrown in, but not in a bad way. I get thrown into this new life where I'm no longer working a 9 to 5. This is my job. I'm on my phone all the time. I'm doing all these lives. I'm meeting all these new people. Excuse me. I'm working with these people I don't know. I'm in rooms with people that I don't know. And everybody's showing me so much love. Everybody's showing Gator so much love. Everybody's just love, 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 love. Commenting, liking, sharing, like doing collabs and stuff. And then all of a sudden it felt like one day that just completely stopped, completely turned off. And I felt like it happened from every direction. Like I know that everybody didn't sit down and decide we're not doing this anymore, but that's how it felt.
right,
And I was like, damn, like I just made like I made all these waves. Like I stirred up all this stuff. I put numbers on people, And I'm like it just felt not great. And we started realizing it obviously when it was happening. It was like, "Oh, okay, like things are different now. Why I don't know, but they're different." And it was kind of like a domino effect. Once it was different with this group of people, then it started being different with like all the artists on Mako. And we're like, what the heck is going on? you know?
right. So, though, after the whole Katie Noel thing, then you got into another thing with a lady by the name of Shelby K.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a little fun fact about Shelby K you may not know. I told this to Bravo. 4th of July weekend, Soul South Festival, North Carolina. She was up on stage and I was filming her. And I said, man, her voice sounds so familiar. And I couldn't make out who she was. When she came off the stage and I heard her talk, I said, oh, that's Shelby K.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked up to her. I said, excuse me, by any chance, you're Shelby K, right? She said, yeah. I said, you're the one who did Savannah, right? She's like, look here, bruh. That's my sister. Watch what you say. I said, I don't want no smoke. I'm just asking a question.
No, listen,
She was very, very protective.
that's the first person that I made up with. You want to talk about like we actually I don't want to say actually beefed because what did we actually do to each other? Like beef to me
Nothing.
is like you hurt my family, like you personally did something to me, like not this online like rah rah back and forth, right? That's just like entertainment. You have to really do something. So we didn't have a real beef, but we really beefed for 2 years. Like we went back and forth on our stories. She thought Throw Another Stone was about her. They had the Can Am and her and Sarah Ross's video. Like it was like all this stuff that her team orchestrated which whatever, I knew it, but I was still feeding into it because I'm like, just let me have her. Um, and we got on the phone forever ago. I mean, it was before Gator and I got married. It was before Gator and I got married. And, she's real. Like, we decided to get on the phone. We got on the phone. We didn't get off that phone until it was all squash. And then I was like, bro, let me help you out of your deal. Let me make up to you what was stolen from you. Let me help you out of your deal. I'll take you on to Empower and, get you going. And she's real. She did some touring with me last year, and I love her. I love her husband. Oh my gosh, he is so freaking hilarious. Y'all would just, yeah. But she's a real one. She does not want to be disloyal to me. And also, same here. I have her back 10 toes down, but she's,
Oh, she was
mhm,
very protective that day.
yeah, that's all the time. Like, she's just like, she doesn't play about me,
Like I'm
really.
not scared of no female, but
No,
she put a little bit of
listen.
fear in me. I
I
ain't gonna
told
lie.
her, I'm like, damn, Shelby, you are a big bitch. I said, listen,
Cause my
Lord
wife
bless
is six
that.
foot one,
No,
so
she is tall. Yeah.
yeah,
I said, let us pray and thank the Lord that me and you made up, because me and her are actually the only ones. Like, we're actually the only females here who would have thrown down. And so, had we been beefing and then bumped into each other out, like, it would have been on like Donkey Kong, and not good. And for what?
yeah.
So I'm glad we made up, because she's really about that life. And so am I. We talk about that all the time. We're like, we're so thankful that we just hugged instead of, fighting.
So how did you meet Adam when you started working with him? Did you meet him through Bravo or
Yeah, yeah. So he was one of the people that Gator had known. And again, before the Katie diss, um, he had talked to all, like, they had all called each other. Like, it was like this whole, and I don't even think that any of them had talked in that long, because Gator was out of music for like 5 years. He was doing roofing and stuff, and he had just started getting back into it. Maybe, I don't want you to quote me, but maybe like 6-ish months before he met me. So it was still very fresh. But he's one of the ones that I was introduced to through Gator. And then he just came down. I think so. He knew about Raise Hell and all of that. And then right after that song, he came down with everybody. And then we did like Got Him Talking and Big Trucks and stuff.
because I think you did what, three songs with Adam?
Mm hmm.
You did a singing song with him.
Mm hmm.
And you did rap songs.
Yep.
Yeah,
Got Him Talking. He was on Big Trucks, and then we did Just Hold On.
right. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, because I remember when the whole internet was circling around that who's Savannah's boyfriend before you went public.
Yep.
A lot of people were speculating that it was Adam
A lot
because
of
of that
people thought that from
the
the
video.
beginning. And
Yeah.
it's not weird for me to talk about, because I spoke with him. I've obviously, everybody knows I'm with Gator. I've spoke to Gator about it. I kind of dipped into it on my recent podcast episode where um I'm like, it's, what's the title of it? I keep forgetting. Whatever. I've won the spew of everything that has gone down the past 4.5 years. And everybody thought that me and him were dating, but no, because he would always put me on his stories and do all his little flirty stuff. So, like, I don't blame people for thinking that. Um, I mean, that's just how he was. Like, I said the same thing when I brought up Dusty Lee. Like, he was all flirty and everything too, but it's like, it's not really a shock. It'd be a shock now because everybody's married and they all have
Right.
or whatever. But back in the day, like back then, it was like that's just what they were. I'm pretty sure Adam used to do like Titty Tuesday or
Yeah,
something,
he did.
you know? So he was pretty out there. Um,
Had the whole Pop Tart gang and everything.
yeah, like he was doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So people speculated that. But then of course, when I came out with Gator, they're like, oh, we knew it. And I'm like, okay. So Yeah,
Now, because you were so hesitant to come out, did you get a lot of slack once you all announced that you were a couple?
that's a great question. So I
Because
really, I don't
if
think
my
it was
memories,
much as me. Because I remember saying that. I don't think it was as much as me. Maybe it was,
because if my
but
memory serves me
Gator
correct,
too.
if it was my memory serves me correct, not to interrupt you, but I think a lot of men came after you more than the women did.
Yeah, but it's always the men. It is all. I'll get random Susans on Facebook. But let me tell you what, the ones who are running their traps more than not. Oh, and I see some comments over here, and I'll respond to that in a second because I've seen that a lot. But more times than not, it's a dude. And I'm like, bruh, I'll fight you. Like, do you understand that? Like, if we were face to face and you even thought the thought, I would smack the shit out you. But anyways, I'm not for violence. Haha, JK. Like I can't stand dudes, man. They just really piss me off. When I used to go out and be in my crazy era, I was always trying to fight dudes. I just want to make that known. Like, y'all don't scare me. Your little mouths, like all that shows is like you're a boy. And you're a little boy, and you either probably are single or your girl doesn't like you. And your mama don't either. So, anyways, what was I saying?
About how much slack you
Oh,
got from
hey,
the
yeah, yeah,
men.
yeah. It really wasn't that bad. Like, I I think we expected it to be a little bit more than it was, but it really wasn't. It really wasn't. And that's a good thing because when you don't know, like when you don't know the scenario, even inside people, excuse me, who think that they know or knew the situation or how it went down. Y'all have no idea, you know? So I think that's why we were nervous, especially him having a new baby. Like people are just going to assume the worst,
Mhm.
but not everything is as it seems. So it really wasn't that bad. We didn't get that much backlash. It was only like some comments here and there. And to be honest with you, they still try to say that. Like I'm pretty sure Homeboy just said that in his freaking little video.
Did he?
Oh, when you ran off with the stripper, you wish I was a stripper. Um, so it's like you're what we've been married over 2 years. Like we've been together longer. We're way past all this, so I still see random comments. I'm just like, LOL. Okay, well, what are you gonna say when she's on my podcast?
Well, speaking of the hate, I remember when you all released Country Girl and Bunny helped you shoot that video,
Mm-hmm.
you got a lot of backlash, not from females, but from males because of the way you dressed in that video.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, if they would have just listened to the
I'm like
lyrics would,
essentially mocking.
yes,
Yeah, because the biggest thing, it's the same type of vibe I did with Mud It Up when people tried to tell me I had fake mud. And I'm like, okay. But a lot of the hate comments that maybe I got from people who had no idea about the genre, no idea who I was, like this whole story behind everything, they're always like, oh, you're a buckle bunny, you're a mud cricket, or essentially like I have no country in me. And I can explain that all I want to, but then I get to a point where I want to put it in a song and put it in a video. And that's exactly what I was doing. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this very like boppy, laid back, like mocking but fire track. And I'm going to do this video where I'm like, okay, I'm going to douse myself in oil and ride a bull backwards, which by the way, I'd love to see anybody who hated on me do that because it was very difficult. Um, and just have fun with it. So many people went off about that, but I'm telling you, it's always the men.
yeah, because I remember you and Bravo did a live on Facebook right after the premiere because of all the hateful comments from the guys.
Yes, and I'm just like, oh my god, like I said, say it to my face, but also let me see your phone. I just want to see your phone. I just want to see your phone. That's all. I just want to look. I'm just going to go in a couple different places. That's it. And I'm going to hand it right back to you because I guarantee that I am not the worst thing that you see today. It's like, okay, like, no shit. It was it's clickbait, just like in Mud It Up. I'm rolling around in mud. Like, do you think I do that on a regular basis?
Well, the
No.
if my memory serves me correct, Country Girl was a concept to kind of throw shade back at people like Cardi B, who was doing sexual songs. Yes,
Yeah.
you were dressed sexually, but if they would
I'm
just
not
listen,
talking that.
right, the lyrics
Yeah,
say something
not at
different.
all.
Right.
Because I really stand on that. Like, I appreciate the rap genre, right? I really have fallen in love with it, and I've always like I love Lil Wayne and like Nicki Minaj and stuff. And I, oh my gosh, I love them. I know so many words or so many songs, but one of the main reasons why I love Nicki so much is because yes, she has her raunchy songs, but then she has a lot of songs and features and things where she's just snapping out. And it's kind of disappointing, when I see a lot of the girls and all they're talking about is, you know what, and you know what, and you know what. And that's just not going to be me. It doesn't matter how deep I got into rap. I think, I've thrown little like, yeah, like you can't get nothing from me until you go talk to my nana. I mean, how classy could I be? Could I be? You know?
Now,
Um,
now are your grandparents still alive?
yes,
Okay.
thank God.
Now, one of the biggest features you had back in the day was by Jelly Roll,
Hmm.
and now you're about to go on tour with Jelly Roll.
Yes, we are.
How excited is that?
I don't even have the words. Like I kept speaking it because he actually had brought it up like way before. He'll like throw it out there and obviously he's so busy, so it's not like Gator's on the phone with him every day, you know? And he's like, okay, I don't know if it's gonna happen. Like Gator, I don't know if it's gonna happen. And then he brought it up again at the other show, and I looked at him and I'm like, don't tell me that. Cause I'm going to pack my suitcase right now. I'm like, rude. I'm like, I'm ready. Like, don't you see? I'm trying to be so serious. It just wants to come and interrupt me. Um, yeah, I'm really excited. I'm excited for the opportunity. I'm excited to like hang out with the fam because, I used to see Jelly a lot more and the team and like we know all his boys, the security and highlight and just everybody. So I think it's going to be even more fun to just be on the road with like people and that's already family because you have to think a lot of people who open and go on a tour like this, they don't know the the main
Main event,
headliner like
right?
that. So I think it's just going to be really cool to be able to already have a relationship with all these people. And I'm just excited. I've wanted to go to Canada. You can go back like I don't know when I was talking about it a year ago. I've talked about it for years. I want to go Canada. I want to go to Canada. And I had talked to oh my gosh, why can't I think of his name right now? I literally love him. We have a freaking song together. Um Ritz and
Let me go look.
oh, come on. I'm going to think about it. Why can't I think of it? You guys are going to think about it. He's going to kill me. He's literally going to beat my ass. Come on. Somebody say it. Mercules.
Yeah,
Oh my
Mercules.
gosh, he's
Okay,
going to kill me.
yes.
I love Merc and our song together was just so freaking dope. I want to do another one. I had been chatting with him, but I wanted to go to Canada for so long and this is like, I mean, what a better way.
How long y'all gonna be on tour for?
The whole month of March. The whole month of March, we are gone. We're going to be on a bus. We're going from one side of Canada to the other.
So it's the whole Canada tour. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's going to be crazy. We were doing tour rehearsals today. It's going to be crazy.
Because you had to cancel your tour that you had scheduled in Texas, right? For the
Yeah, we had that set. We had to move it. So we didn't completely take it off, but we moved it. Obviously they understood, they were like, "Oh, yeah, go." But Texas books out so freaking far, so I think it's going to be like a next year thing, but
okay. Do y'all have
it's
any plans?
Jizzle.
Do y'all have any plans of doing any shows in like Louisiana or Mississippi?
I'm sure. Um, I know every year we try to go to places we haven't gone so we can get at least the whole US covered and then kind of start again. So, I'm sure we will. I don't know about this year because we come back from Canada. I think we only have like 2 weeks off. And then we go back out on our tour where we're gone like every weekend or every other weekend. So it's going to be a lot.
Is there an independent artist that you haven't worked with that you do want to work with?
You know, a while back, I really wanted to work with Nova, and we had a song that we were going to do, and it kind of fell through. But I would still love to work with her because she's a female. You
Talking
know, I
about
want to
Tom
work with more
McDonald's girlfriend?
females. Hmm.
Okay.
I want to work with more females. And then I know Snow the product, she's dope. Um,
I'd like to see you do a song with Caitlin Curtis.
Caitlin Curtis, yeah, she would be freaking. She can sing, bro. I think we would make a really good pop song together. But we've never really talked. Surprisingly, like as cool as we are with Struggle, we've never really spoke. So, um, but yeah, she's really talented. I would love to do a song with her too. I'd like to work with some of the girlies. I came on the scene and friggin' had a bunch of features from the guys, which I'm so blessed for and thankful. But then it's like I've really only worked with Shelby.
Have you ever heard of Kingry? He's a male artist. He did a big song with a female artist named Corey, who's with Outlaw Nation.
Yes, I know Corey. She's the redhead,
She's brunette.
right?
She's
Oh,
brunette.
then maybe I'm not thinking of the same girl.
Yeah, her name's Corey, Cori.
Oh, okay.
She's got an amazing voice. I
Good to
think you
know.
two I think you two would pair up very well.
Yeah.
All right, so let me ask you this: if you've never done music, what do you think you'd be doing as far as a career?
Probably something in the medical field because that's what I had a background in.
Yeah, because
I've
you used to work
worked
at
at
you worked at a doctor's office at one
I
time, right?
worked at a doctor's office. That was my last thing. I did like billing and coding and I was at checkout. But prior to that, I worked at a pharmacy. So I was like way deeper in it than just working at the doctor's office. It wasn't a pharmacy for like pill prescriptions. It was a pharmacy for patients that were discharging from the hospital. So if they had to have an IV, I would fill that like online through our system. It would go to the pharmacist. They would fill it. It would all be packaged. And then I would set up like the home health nurse and all that stuff. So I was really interested in it and I really enjoyed it. I think I would be doing something in that. And if that wasn't giving me enough, I always said I would love to be a lawyer. I can argue oh my gosh, I could argue. I could argue.
Well, no offense, most women can argue very well.
Yeah, well, I feel like if I have some facts, like I am believable. Don't get me on because I'm coming with the facts and I'm coming with like the supporting argument behind it. Like I'm gonna make you believe what I'm saying. And I don't know. I like sticking up for what's right. I guess it would be hard to be a lawyer for someone that I knew did it. That would be difficult, but
All right, let me ask you this: now that you are in a very healthy relationship, it's very obvious. How does that change you as a person and as an artist?
well, as an artist, it's like my mental is clear and I don't know what the heck happened, but all of a sudden like songs were just like flowing out of me. I mean just crazy. Shut up, Bravo. Um let me show you too when I'm done with this. Um it's allowed me to like open my brain. I feel like I was trapped with a lot of bullshit. And at a certain point, like when bullshit's not going on, you kind of work through. I mean, I don't want to say he's the reason, but in knowing him, My relationship with my grandparents is like back to what I would like to say normal. So like amazing. You know, I see them, they've moved down here. Life is great. With my family in general, like my aunt and uncle. My uncle is very cut and dry because he's from the military, and I think now he's like, okay, I like respect the life that she lives. I can support this life that she lives. Me and him are really cool. Gator and him are really cool. My dad, I've heavily been working on the relationship with him, as hard as that is because he's so far, and just the stuff there with my stepmom. But I've even spoke to her since I've been with Gator. The show that he proposed at, we went up there, and you know, it was like stepping stones into what it is now. Him and I talk quite frequently. With her, it's a little bit more scattered, but you know, I've healed a lot, is what I'm saying,
Hmm.
and it kind of like opened this vault in my brain where I'm finna argue with him when we're laying down to go to bed. Um, they're supposed to be listening to what I'm saying there. I'm spitting some wisdom for them right now. You trying to get them on arguing. But it opened this like vault where I could start writing about things that I've been through. And also things that him and I had been through, because some of this album, unfortunately, was pulled from the beginning of our relationship. And so it's weird because I'm singing about it now, but you know, we went through really not great times. And I think it allows for that on the business side. On the personal side, I really don't know what to do with myself. I think I make up stuff sometimes when it's like been cool for too long because I'm like, this isn't normal still. Like PTSD, you know, there needs
Hmm.
to be some like toxicity going on, or it's just not right.
Right.
Which, you know, that's for me to get used to, but it allows me to like do stuff like that. Oh my gosh, in the beginning, I'm telling you, like we just talked about this on our podcast we dropped today. We were arguing while we were shooting Love Like This. Like nobody on the internet, and I mean like bad arguing. I don't just mean like, oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean bad arguing. Said it like me, like same thing. So it's like we would be working and all these things, and I would just be so, oh my gosh, I was just drained. I couldn't do anything else. I couldn't focus on anything else. Well, now look, I'm like, I'm juggling, I'm dropping all this merch, I'm running my Patreon, I'm shooting these podcasts, I'm doing tour schedules, like I'm doing this interview with you. I know that's like silly, but when you're not good in your relationship, you can't do stuff like that.
Right.
Especially as a female, because you get so like just drained from the emotions that go into whatever in your relationship. So I'm like able to do so much more now uh, on a weekly basis. Just in my life, I prioritize my health and working out. And, you know, I know that's weird stuff to say, but like if you've been in it, you know what I'm talking
Oh
about.
yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's good to be in that good spot, that good space, headspace and time.
do you mind if I reference something that they keep
Yeah. Go ahead.
talking about over here? Because I'm all for controversy, and I've seen this comment like so many times, and as a woman, I would like to speak on it, especially because I know you keep bringing this up, or you're gonna keep this video up. People keep wanting to know like my stance on Gator going for Ryan's girl, and it's like a catch
That
22.
I was going to ask you that
Okay, okay. So,
because Ryan, because when he did Bravo, he did come after you, and
mm,
he said some
so
things about your body.
yeah, so here's the thing. Um, if I'm being quite honest with you, I didn't listen to his first. I think I listened to half of his first one. I didn't listen to his second one, and I didn't watch his trolling video on us because I literally, quite frankly, do not give a shit what he says. I just don't. If that hurts y'all's feelings over here, then why are you in here? But once I saw that that was like That's what you got to say? After all this time of not speaking on me, when I literally stood up for you for this BS over here, shouted you out in this song over here, showed nothing but love in all my stories, all the questions that were asked about him, I literally showed him nothing but love. Nothing but love. Now all of a sudden, I'm dissing you. You're going to pull out of your butthole that I've been dissing you for a year. After I literally started my career having your back. Make that make sense? Okay, it doesn't. So you want to have a problem with me now? You want to use that as an excuse to diss me? Cool. Gator did listen to his diss. Disses. Thank you. You were a little bit late to the punch. But he did listen to them and he was triggered. Why? Not because of anything that he said about Gator, is because of all the stuff he said about me. I still to this day don't really know what the hell he said, but I know that he was talking mad shit about me. He even tried to throw a line in there like referencing the herpes stuff. Like, baby, I already know like the tea you think you have. I'm already steps ahead of you. Obviously, we chose not to respond. You guys know how I feel about women. So no, I cannot sit here and be like, oh my gosh, I totally support him for what he said about her. I can't say that. That goes against everything I believe in. However, I will say, one, I'm not my husband's keeper. I wasn't sitting there writing the diss with him. I wasn't even in the room or when he recorded it or when he whatever. Like obviously I heard it, but when do y'all know what a diss song is? Like
Mhm.
I just do you know what a diss track is? Because I was raised, yes, by my husband, unfortunately. On diss tracks, like when you're dissing someone, you hurt their feelings. No, it's not nice. No, it's not something that people should want to do all the time, but it's not like a ha, I'm gonna make fun of you, like, ooh, no, you're going for the gusto, bro. Like the real goodness. Think about what I said about Katie, y'all. Y'all, the same people who were like, oh, but it's okay that he talked about like her like that. Y'all was riding for me when I was sticking up for him. So Lamb and Katie, I said all types of nasty shit about her. So that's crazy because the whole internet had no issue with me when that happened. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? It's like pick pick a side. You can't be doing both. So no, I don't think it was nice, but when you're dissing somebody, you're not supposed to be nice.
Facts.
He came for me. Ryan came for me, which is I am Gator's wife. He came for me many years ago, and then he has spewed on about everybody else. Gator was getting his lick back. Would you want me to smack him on the wrist for that? No, I don't think it was nice, but it wasn't like, if be for real here, the shots weren't directed towards her. They were directed towards him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's meant to hurt his feelings. It's meant to piss him off. Yes, I'm all for women. You're not going to take that from me. It doesn't really matter what comments you say. Um, I stand for that. I stand 10 toes down, but it's not meant to be nice. It's not meant to be like, oh, okay, like just a little bar there. No, no. And you guys know Gator, bro. Why you asking me? Like, I'm still, my own person and he's still his own person. You guys know that Gator's like the disc king. This is literally what he's known for. I know
Yeah.
everybody's doing it all online now and like rap battles and blah blah blah, but he's like what, 46 and 0, 47 and 0, I don't know. 46
Yeah.
and 0.
46.
So, what do you go Go listen to Love Song where he's dissing a freaking girl that wanted to date him or whatever, and he didn't, or he broke up with her, and go see what he was saying about her. I mean, he's talking all kinds of like, he's not here to be your friend,
Yeah. Win
especially
over
not
hearts and
him,
minds.
especially not him. So, that's how I feel about it. It's a very mixed review. Honestly, I feel bad for her. I don't want her to be with him, not with everything I've heard. Lord only knows what she's going through right now. So, yeah, I feel bad for her. Like, I don't know, his lines weren't nice, but they're not meant to be nice. They're meant to be like really big punches to the face, and they were. So, hopefully that answers your question about that, you and them. I don't know if you want to make a comment on that,
No,
but
I mean, I look a diss track. You got to come with facts. Uh, there's nothing off limits. You got to troll, be disrespectful, and come with the biggest punches.
I mean, yeah, like you're literally like and again, other people might feel differently, bro. What does he say? It was probably A minor. Let's talk about that whole thing because I know that's going viral with the whole Kendrick in the Super Bowl, and he was not supposed to say Drake's name, and I'm pretty sure that he did. He literally ended it. I'm sorry, I don't care what the internet says about this. That is iconic.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not something that I would do. Oh, we doing the Super Bowl? We ended with a diss track. What? That was iconic. I was like, go off, Kendrick. I don't care what nobody says about you. People are like, this is the worst Super Bowl. What are you talking compared to what? Like, what are our levels here? Like, I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, I
Oh
thought
yeah,
it was a good
he
show.
definitely trolled him. He trolled the hell out
He
of him.
trolled oh, I was like, love, like go off. Did y'all listen to that? Did you listen to that? That is, he is not saying nothing nice in there.
No,
He's talking about
straight
him
body
liking
blows.
young girls and screwing people's sisters and best friend. Like, you don't, you know what I'm saying? And then there's like Megan the Stallion and Nikki's beef. Like, they weren't nice at all to each other. So I don't
Facts.
know. I just, that's the whole point, I guess, is my point.
Yeah, look when it comes to diss, there's no rules and there's nothing off limits.
No.
Now, some artists may not go after family members, but I say fair is fair. If you come, if let's say me and Bravo were to get into a diss and he dissed my wife, I should have the right to diss his
It's
wife.
fair game,
Yeah,
no? Like, why'd you bring
fact.
me into it in the first place?
Exactly.
I don't even understand that. You could have just dissed Gator. Why'd you have to bring me into it? I
That's
don't know.
fact.
I just think it's so hilarious. Um,
And I know what
but
some
whatever.
people are going to say. They're going to say, well, because Savannah's an artist, that's why. And his wife isn't. Yeah, but it's still
Okay.
wife versus wife. It doesn't matter.
It yeah, what do you like that literally has nothing to do with it. I saw a few comments like that just rolling around after everything and I'm like, oh, like that doesn't hold weight cuz I still to this day have done nothing to well, never mind, I take that back. As of a couple weeks ago, I had done nothing to him to bring me into it. So what did I talk like no.
And you did get your licks with your diss track, well, diss song. It wasn't a rap song, it was a song, which I would say
Dang
was
it.
pretty fire. And to see you play the guitar all the way through the song was amazing. And
Thank you.
I'm not throwing any shade at anybody, but I've never seen him play the guitar through a whole song.
Well, that's kind of why I did it because I got really sick of seeing the like you're only an artist if you play or you can't play instruments. You don't play this. You can't nah, nah. And I was like, okay, well, nobody really knows because I only talked about it in the beginning of my career. I've always kept my long clanky nails on. Everybody knows that as well. I don't have them on now. I haven't for a while. Um and that's the main reason I haven't been playing. I don't really need to play it on my songs. I don't do that type of music. If I was doing like real gritty like country, I would, but I don't need to. Um and so yeah, I wanted to sing. I wanted to sing a little lullaby. I if I wasn't dropping an album, I probably would have gone 10 toes down on a rap song, but I had like just bigger, better things going on, so that was my involvement there. I just wanted to strum a tune. And I think it's funny because the only negative comment that I've seen, and it's, it's different people, but they're kind of saying the same thing is, oh, be original. Like you're using someone else's song. I'm like, okay, you do it. That's not like that was easy. Like I had to look up like the original lyrics and then I had to write things that fit the melody that he had.
Hmm.
I don't know what people think is easy about. But
Yeah.
okay. Um, so yeah, I mean, it was fun. I had fun with it. I didn't want to take it too seriously because I don't know. I just he don't get under my skin. I think what bothers me is the people that believe the lies. That bothers me.
Yeah.
But
All right. So let me ask you this. I seen you do an interview with Chad Arms about 4 years ago.
mhm.
You said that you didn't want to be doing rapping. You didn't want to be rapping for 10 years. Eventually, you're going to steer away from it completely. You've only been doing this for almost five. Uh, will there ever be another rap album?
So I have this idea, and again, I don't want to give too much away, but I have this idea, and so technically the answer to that would be yes. Um, I have fallen in love with rap. So when I did that interview, I don't think I loved it as much as I do now. Again, the album that I just dropped, the one that you listened to, the one
Mhm.
that's streaming right now,
Damage.
is most of me. Like that is me. I feel like I had a good mixture of like some Western country pulled in with like a little bit of rock and like hip hoppy
R&B.
type of beats, R&B, yeah. And my patterns, I was able to sing and belt, but I was also able to do like faster verses. That feels the most like me. That is the direction that I would like to go in and stay in, and I really feel like people are vibing with it. Um so I want to stay mainly on that, but I'd be lying if I said that I was never going to rap again. I think that I will probably always dip back into it, whether it be features, whether it be, you know, different projects. I don't want to say goodbye to it forever. The main reason that I said that is back to the raunchiness.
Hmm.
I didn't want to be okay. I personally feel like if I would have stayed rapping, I could have grown even more than maybe I have, just because, people were heavy on the rap. But that's why I immediately wanted to remind people in the beginning, hey, I sing too with Cinderella, right? The main reason why I like pulled away a little bit and kind of started dabbling in other things is because look at who I would be competing with. I hate to say anything negative because I listen to some of these songs and I vibe with a lot of these artists, but all these girls, all these rap girls out here are like going haywire. They are going like sexy red and like all these girls. I mean, they're going all the way in. And I'm down with like doing hard rap and like flow and all that. I am not gonna be talking about no coochie this and that and all these other things. I like being confident and feeling good about myself, but I'm not gonna be doing that. I'm not gonna be like full twerking in a camera or like I mean they just really.
Right.
So if I think about being up with those girls, it's like I can't withstand that because I'm not going to do that.
I feel you on
So
that.
yeah,
It's understandable. Okay. That's all the questions I have. So now I'm going to switch gears and put you in what we call the hot seat.
love that.
I'm going to ask you 30 questions,
Okay.
and they're simple, like yes or no's. But whatever comes to your mind,
Oh
just
God.
answer it.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. What's your favorite snack?
Them cinnamon dots pretzels,
Okay. Favorite potato chip?
just
Or
plain,
just plain?
like plain Lay's or Ruffles.
All right. Favorite soda?
Don't like soda. Don't drink soda.
All right. Favorite fast food restaurant?
Zaxby's.
Okay. Favorite ice cream.
Tonight's dough.
All right. Favorite beer.
Don't drink beer anymore, but when I did, Angry Orchard.
Okay. Favorite hard liquor.
I really just drink Tito's.
All right. Favorite rap song of all time.
Holy shit, what? Are you kidding me? S- mm.
This always gets everybody stumped.
Oh man, I mean, it's got to be something like Lil Wayne or Nicki. Um, dang, I love Red Ruby to Sleaze. Um, I love Lil Wayne's 6 foot, 7 foot. No, you know what I love? Oh my gosh, but I mean, it's a remix. Does that count? He remixed Ice Cream Paint Job. Lil Wayne did. You can only find it on YouTube. If you have not heard it immediately after this live, you need to listen to it. Phenomenal. So those
Okay.
are a couple of all time. I'm sure I could go further back, but that's what comes to my mind first.
All right. Favorite country song of all time.
I really, really, really love um, Concrete Angel.
All right. Favorite mainstream artist.
It's a tie right now between Nicki Minaj and Sabrina Carpenter.
All right. Favorite independent artist.
Bravo Gator, I'm not saying you. So get out because I know it's coming. He's arguing with a troll in the comment, but that's fine. Favorite independent. Man, well, I can't say Jelly no more. Um, I don't know. It's a tough question because I was beefing with 90% of them 2 weeks ago. So I don't know. I mean, I don't want to give him this much flossy floss, but I've, you know what? No, I'm gonna say Merc. I'm gonna say Mercules.
Okay.
But second, I'm gonna say I really, really, really like FJ is super talented, bro. That's me putting my pride aside.
All right. What would be your favorite collaboration? Doesn't have to be with you. It could be someone from mainstream to independent, independent to mainstream, or independent together, or mainstream to mainstream.
Damn, you're hitting me with the good ones. Oh my gosh. If Nicki Minaj and Sabrina Carpenter. Oh my gosh, that would be insane. That's
Okay.
crazy. That'd be insane.
What would be your favorite TV show presently?
Arrow. We're watching Arrow. You need to watch Arrow. You need to watch Arrow.
All right. What's your favorite TV show of all time?
Oh, Tech Nine is good. Of all time,
Mhm.
Dexter. Not because my last name. Not because my last name.
Favorite comedy movie?
Grown Ups is good. Bridesmaids is good. No, what's the one? Hot. What's it called? It's with, I'm terrible with actors. Melissa McCarthy and what is it called? Hot something. Hot Guns. Hot.
I have no
Watch it.
idea.
It's hot something. I'm gonna find that and figure it out. Hot. What is it? I don't know. The comments are behind. I can't. I won't see it. Hot something. Well, it's that movie and I can't think of it. That movie had me dying laughing. Oh my gosh, Gator, look up this look up this movie for me. It's a comedy. It's called it has the word hot in it. With Melissa
Hot
McCarthy.
Shots? Hot Shots?
No.
Hot
Heat.
Fuzz?
Oh, you got it, Rick. You've won the prize. It's gotta be heat, right? It's gotta be heat. It's gotta be heat.
Somebody put Hot Fuzz.
Ain't no hot fuzz. It's gotta be heat. It's called heat. He knows what I'm talking about. It's called heat.
Okay.
Thank you. You just saved the question.
All right. Favorite horror movie?
all the Conjurings, the Annabelles, all that whole line of movies. Nothing can, I don't even know if anything can be scarier. Like the nuns, like all those are tied for me because they're just all, yes, the heat. Thank you. You're a little bit late to the party. Yeah, he's trying.
Okay. Favorite action movie?
I really like all the like Olympus Has Fallen, like all those movies. I don't know. I'm sure there's better ones than
All right.
that.
All right. Favorite sneaker? Athletic shoe.
Like Nike, like
Yeah.
the like Jordans.
Yeah.
I like
Nikes.
the ones, but I'm really veering like to low tops. I don't want to be rocking the high tops anymore. I want to get some low tops.
All right. Favorite sport?
I like watching football. I enjoy football games on TV and in person. Is that what you mean? Like
Yeah,
to
your
watch
favorite
them,
sport.
assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like football.
Okay. So, favorite college football team?
I feel like I'm forced to I'm just kidding. I didn't say that, Gator. Tennessee. The Vols. The Vols. Right? The Vols. Is that how
Yeah.
you say it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite college basketball?
I don't really rock with basketball. Oh no. Who's what's his name on? I actually do like them. Gator, gotta help me here. Um not the oh, I suck with these teams.
College
Um
now, not pro.
oh, then no. No, you're
Okay.
right. Then I don't know. I don't have one.
Pro. Favorite pro football team?
The Titans, duh. They suck this year. They sucked. They're
I'm surprised you said that. You being from Florida.
I don't like nobody here. I've
Okay.
never like yeah, no, even though mm-mm.
All right. Favorite pro basketball team?
Who is it? Not the one that
Steph Curry. When Steph
not
Curry played.
not the one that Steph Curry's on. The one
LeBron
that
James.
the Lakers, thank you. I kept
Okay.
wanting to say LeBron and I was like, what if he's the one that doesn't play anymore? I'm gonna look stupid.
Favorite athlete of all time?
Mm, Derrick Henry, baby. Derrick Henry.
Favorite hobbies?
Music.
All
Outside
right.
of that, I really like working out.
All right. Favorite weapon of choice?
A gun, like a specific gun,
Yeah.
probably a gun.
All right.
Pow
Favorite
pow.
president?
Can I say none of them? I mean, I want to say one, but I don't know if that's controversial because
Say it.
I've never spoke on that before.
Okay.
You know, I'm kind of like a weird person when it comes to politics. I never speak on them ever, right?
Right.
But if you had an actual conversation with me, I would say a lot of things that actually pull from both sides. Because I don't agree with every single thing one on either side. However, as much of a hated man as he is, Trump is the only one I've seen, and I'm telling you, I don't pay attention. So don't be like, oh my god. No, I don't I don't get deep into them because I just don't believe in like identifying with that. But he's the only one that I have seen and felt like living in an American life. Because last time he was in office, I was not, I was really scraping by. I'll just say that. Um, he made the most change. He
Right.
made the most difference. I mean, but what? And then maybe Reagan was the last one.
Yeah.
I mean, he like or Kennedy. He really made like a difference. He had taxes down and I mean, just everything. Everything. We weren't beefing with every freaking country known to man. You know, we actually had some allies. Like, things were different. And from what I've seen since he's got back in office, which I never cry on politics, I actually cried. he's already doing like monumental things. So I have to
Facts.
say, and everything he's been through, bless his heart for still standing.
All right. Favorite book to read to kids?
To read to kids, I like The Cat in the Hats. Gator,
Okay.
shut up. Inside joke.
Favorite things to do with the family?
So every Sunday we have a new tradition now that everybody's moved down here, Nana, Papa, and Gator's mom. And every Sunday we everybody comes over to the house and Sai's here and everything, and we kind of rotate who cooks dinner, but we do like a big family dinner and we just eat and talk at the dinner table and hang out. And I really like doing that. I really like doing that a lot.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
All right. And the last one for the all the pizza lovers. What is your favorite pizza crust? Thin, regular, or deep dish?
I'm a regular girl. Occasionally I'll do thin, but like go to is regular. Really, I like New York style,
Yeah, I
but
like the
that's
kind to
still,
fold.
yeah, kind of fold, tear, whatever.
Yeah. All right. So my wife's been messaging me. She's been dying to know this answer because you said something in the beginning of this interview. You said Bravo promised you five things when you first got together. She wants to know what those promises were and did he keep them?
Five things.
I think that's what she said. I have to go back and look. Let me pull up her message.
What the hell you promised me? Because I'm trying to make sure that you.
Oh no, not. She said, "Did Bravo fulfill all his promises within those 5 months?" That's what it was.
Okay, yeah, I was like five things. Wait, let me make sure I cashed them all in. Um, yeah. I mean, did my life change in 30 days? It sure did. Because Ray's health dropped within the 30 days and everything just absolutely kaboomed. My
No,
Instagram, even
he
though he
promised
deleted
her something that
everything.
he would do in 5 months.
That's what I said to her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, go look at all the things that I had dropped within the 5 months of knowing him. Yeah, it absolutely tenfold.
After knowing what you know today, and I know this is a cliche question. If you could go back, would you change any of it, or would you stay on the same course that it was?
That's such a tough question because, like, normally I like to say no because you shouldn't really change anything because everything's either a blessing or a lesson. And everything happens for a reason. You're meant to go through things or grow through things, and they lead you to where you are. But with everything I know, it's like we also have free will as people. And sometimes we make decisions that are stupid and they bring us down a path that we might learn some things on, but we never really had to take. Even though, we still would have been brought to the same exact spot, whether we took this road, or this road, right? It's just one road might be more difficult than the other. So there are things that I would have done differently because I know I still would have ended up here. It just probably would have been with a little bit less of like the commotion that's gone on.
The reason why I asked that because somebody asked me that last week. I would say no, and here's the reason is if you change one thing, it could change the whole outcome to where you are today.
Sure.
So
I
that would
agree
be
with you. That's normally what I say.
kind of like the butterfly effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Remember that
that's
movie?
normally what I say. I'm definitely in agreement with that for sure. I don't know. I just feel like knowing everything I know, like, for example, a great example of this, even though it maybe made me grow, I could have literally never dated anybody, nothing, never got married, never moved out of my Nana's house after I came back from living with my dad. I could have gone to high school, kept my head down, done my thing. I still would have met Gator because that seed was planted. So, I mean, that goes all the way back to like my uncle and them living in Missouri and him meeting this guy Steve. My mom ended up marrying Steve down the road. They got a divorce. Steve was the volleyball coach at the first high school I went to. That's what led me to pick that school. Going to that school for freshman year, I met like some friends that I had, and they're the ones who introduced me to the first studio that I recorded at. And then fast forward however many years, that studio, those are the people who introduced me to Gator. So it's like I could
Everything
save
happens for a
myself.
reason.
Yeah, I could have saved myself a little bit of hurt, but I learned. I probably grew more character and things.
Yeah, but your songs wouldn't have been as strong as they are.
True. Very, very true.
All
Very
right, so
true.
two last questions and we'll be done. One, chat wants to know: is there any plans for family in the future? I mean, the little ones running around.
Yeah, a lot of people ask that. And I've been trying to be more open about it. Yes, I want babies. I've wanted babies. I've kind of touched on it, but we were trying for a while and we ended up having a miscarriage. That was very difficult. We like went through it and then I never really went to the doctor. And then when I did go to the doctor, um, she was like, she kind of was like, "Oh, well, you that I don't know, something she said led her to say that just means you've never been pregnant." And I was like, "Oh, okay." But then down the line, up to recently, we started to go to like the IVF clinic. We haven't done IVF, but we've done the blood work and the HSG and all these things. Well, I ended up having to get like a light surgery um, because I was like my I don't know if you care to know about this, but maybe they do. Um, my uterus had a bunch of scar tissue in it. And so that's why I was having like we were having trouble implanting. It needs a solid surface to connect on.
Right.
So after all that said and done, I think that surgery was like in November. We kind of paused for a minute because with the tour with Jelly in Canada, I didn't want to be stuck on a bus because I've never been on a bus before like that. I didn't want to be stuck on a bus and have the chance of being like newly pregnant, like first month or two, and be
Any
throwing
sickness?
up
Yeah.
and going on a state. Like I just didn't want to put myself through that. I don't mind being pregnant on our tour, Lord willing, just because we fly, it's a lot less on my body. Like I'd be able to manage, but being in a bus, I just couldn't do that. So we are starting to try again soon, send the baby dust. Um, and yeah, I want babies. I at least want two more. I have the opportunity of having twins because my dad was a twin. He didn't have one. So hopefully, I want to like pop them out because I don't want to be old. I don't want to be an old parent.
All right, last one. Uh, your friend Tyler, does he still work for you? No.
We're actually not friends anymore.
Wow.
Um,
Sorry to hear
we,
that.
yeah, it's okay. We had a very rocky relationship from the beginning. Um, we were like on and off for 10 years. But I always said that was my best friend. We always had like just an unexplainable like communication, and I feel like he really got me. And unfortunately, I don't feel like many people have. So I was always very drawn to him, but it was really toxic. I feel like I don't know. I don't think he meant harm. Maybe he did. I don't think I'll ever know that. But I found out a lot of stuff. I found out he had essentially been talking shit about me like our whole friendship. And that sucks because, especially because the way he treated me and like the standard he held me to. Yeah, so that set it over the edge for me. And then this all the friend group that was kind of surrounding him, we all had a falling out. I kept a couple of those friends, and they're actually better friends than I could have ever imagined. But some of them, no, and he was one of them.
I'm
But
sorry to
I
hear that.
will, as I don't know where he's at in his life now, and I don't. What happened between us was very difficult. But I will say that he was always like, obviously, he was always a fan of me doing music, man. He was always pushing for me to live this exact life. So,
All right. Well, my wife is a huge fan of yours, and she's been bugging me. Can she ask you two questions?
absolutely, yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, this is for the women in the chat that I saw a lot of these and they were texting me. Okay, first question. Any plans on starting a
Okay, she
family?
already answered that
Oh,
one.
I missed it because I was dealing with everything else. Okay, so you already answered that one.
Yeah.
All right. I know how I react and I find it funny and I laugh it off. But how do you feel with you and Bravo being in the spotlight when women come up and throw themselves at him, like sign my boob or flirt with him? Do you kind of just laugh it off like, yeah, that's my baby. I'm not worried about them because he's coming home with me? Or how do you handle it? Do you get a little jealous? Or how do you react out on, when these situations arise?
So surprisingly, like neither one of us really have like a jealous tendency at all. We've never, knock on wood, but we've never struggled with that. We've never had an instance where now maybe the other person's made us feel uncomfortable, but not him and I. We've never struggled with the opposite sex in our marriage. Um Gator, like if they ask me, oh, can he sign my titty? I'm like, go ask him. He's gonna tell you no, but you can ask him. And they'll ask him, he'll say, no. So he doesn't engage with that. Obviously, he'll sign boobs and stuff. He will not sign boobs or butts or none of that stuff. I will sign boobs, however. I love women. I'm gonna pretty much do whatever they ask me to do. But people are normally respectful. Now it's really funny because our security will like fill us in on a tea where they'll like hear people talking in the line like, oh my gosh, she's so hot, or oh my gosh, he's so hot, blah blah blah. And then they get up to us and they're like, oh my god, we love you together so much. So people are pretty respectful. I've had a few, very few, over the last few years, a few dudes who have like tried to do, because when we're taking pictures, the hand behind the back, and I correct that immediately. Um, so we don't really run into too many issues, but we don't get jealous because, like, I know for a fact he's not going to touch anybody. Like, that weirds him out. And I think he knows the same. Especially with my platform, and even in the beginning when I was like, whatever, I never did anything. So he doesn't have a reason to ever think that I would
Right.
disrespect, you know?
Now, are you a reactionary or stationary? Like, if a guy comes up and slaps you in the butt, are you going to turn around and deck him and knock him out like I do? Or are
Absolutely.
you going to be some of those shy women like, oh, run to your
No, no, no,
man
no.
and like,
Don't do that.
save
Yeah,
my
don't do
honor?
that. I'll smack somebody. And nobody's ever tried me like that except my husband, where like I won't be paying attention and like I'll think, somebody else is doing something, whether even it be like in public, and I always go to react like, but yeah, nobody's tried me like that, thankfully, but I would absolutely punch somebody in the face. Like,
Now, does he have an annoying, uh,
Babe, you said two
oh,
questions.
who hush?
oh,
Does he
she's
have
fine.
an, does he have an annoying, thing that he does to you that just drives you crazy, like comes up and either like pinches your butt or walks by and says something to you just to clown you, just to harass you, knowing that's a point that just you want to laugh, but you also want to slap him in the back of the head, like, what the heck you doing?
He tells me I'm wrong. That kind of irritates me.
Well, because
But
they're always wrong and they just don't understand that
right,
with
like
us
I'm like,
women.
no, I don't think you understand. I know I'm right. Um, the only thing that I can think that comes to mind is like I'll be so mad, and then I'll be like, oh, but I can get you to laugh, and I'm like, can you shut up right now? And then he'll literally be like, oh, but here comes the smile. Oh, it's about to come, and then I'll literally laugh, and I'm like, how about that? That really irritates me.
Well, Savannah, this has been very fun for me. Like I said in the beginning, it's been 4 years in the making. I was talking to you 4 years ago, and because schedules, I get it, but I'm so grateful and thankful that you were able to come up and do this tonight. Um,
No,
good
same.
luck.
I'm so happy that you had me on. This has been really fun. I enjoyed the interview. Great questions too. I love like where you took everything. It was really good.
I wish nothing but the best for you and Gator on the tour with Jelly Roll. Hopefully, I can come to some of y'all shows when you come back off of Canada.
Please, I'd love to meet you and your wife.
Most
That would
definitely.
be such a blast.
Most definitely. All right. Where can people find? Because I know you got a new merch line coming out. All your stuff. Where can they find all that stuff?
So the merch website is dexlvl.com. But if for some reason you can't find that, I do have my link tree pinned in my Instagram bio, and you can find everything there. Like that'll take you to our reality show, the podcast, whether you want to watch it or listen on Spotify for free. You can find our all my merch. I will say that for my merch, I am expanding. I've never wanted to keep it just like merchandise. So I'm doing a drop every single month this year, and I'll have stuff that's dropping on the website, and then obviously I'm bringing different stuff on the road. So I highly recommend paying attention to that. You can follow the Instagram, and yeah,
All right.
or for like tour tickets and stuff, you can go to SavannahDexterTour.com. I know a lot of people were asking that when I was in here last time.
Yeah. All right. So we did have some super chats. I don't know if you want to answer these. Tabitha says, "Sab, I've been playing all your music every day."
Thank you, Tabitha. I love you.
You already
Oh yeah, I
answered
answered
this.
that one, I
Yep.
think. Mm-hmm.
Fat white guy said, "I'm glad amends have been made. Sab, I'm excited to see the future collabs with other artists in the genre."
Yes, me too. I'm very happy, honestly. Super open-minded and excited.
Wisco Madman said, "Get the 5 memberships. I appreciate that." Tennessee Twisted. No, that's not for you. And also said, "Great reaction or interview."
Thank you.
And
Thanks
then
for tuning in.
shout out to Bravo Gator for the $100 super chat. He said, "I want Sab's phone number."
You're literally ridiculous. Like you're literally ridiculous.
I appreciate that, Bravo. Well, Savannah, thank you once again. It's
Thank
been
you
an
so
honor and
much.
privilege. If you
It's
ever
been a
need
pleasure.
anything, you know how to get in touch with me,
Absolutely.
and I'll promote whatever you need help with, promote it, and hope to talk to you in the near future.
Yeah, you as well. Thank you guys for tuning in too. I love y'all.
All right, there you
Have a
have
good
it,
night.
folks. Thank you, Savannah. There you have it, Savannah Dexter. She is definitely a savage, and pity the fool whoever daggone crosses her the wrong way. So, what y'all think? Like I said, I've been wanting to do this for 4 years. I'm glad we got it done. I thought it went very well. I think that it went extremely well. I think I asked some pretty good questions. Tell me what y'all think. Nada said, "Nice work, everyone. Great interview. Appreciate it." Sierra said, "Love you. Have a good night, Sav." Sweet Blondie said, "Great interview." Soldier God said, "Thank you, Savannah and Bravo. Much appreciated." Meg said, "Great interview." Lori said, "Great interview." Victoria said, "That was great." But y'all chopping it up now. Checking the weather, 615 said, "Great interview, Triple T. Thank you for doing that. It was my pleasure." Mud Digger said, "Great interview." Potheads in the Drama said, "That was fun. Just listening while getting some things taken care of." Yeah, for sure. Frank Gonzalez says, "I will let her diss me so we can have a diss track from her." Teresa said, "Thank you all for letting us join. I hope to get to see you all once in Eastern North Carolina or South Carolina. Love you all." For sure, for sure. Will I play her new video? What's the name of it? Are you talking about newest music video? Yeah, I can definitely do that. This came out 4 hours ago. It had been longer than that. Let me refresh. 5 hours ago, it's at 5.2 thousand views. You Don't Mean It is the name of the song, for sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got Savannah Dexter's new song, You Don't Mean It. Y'all know the deal. Sit back, relax, strap the boots on, and enjoy the ride. Let's get it.
It's only been a few weeks since you said you'd change. But oh, look, here we go again, right down memory lane. And maybe I'm the dummy for believing you again, but the way you say you love me always pulls me back in. It's only been a few weeks since you said you'd change. But you don't mean it when you say that you'll be better, that you'll put me back together now. You don't mean it, but did you really ever remember you said forever now? You put me on cloud nine, wasting my damn time. Oh, but you don't mean it when you say that you'll be better. Remember you said forever, no, you don't mean it. Looking down at my phone, it's you calling again. I think this is the part where I fall back in. And I know that I know better by now. Is it me or heads up in the clouds? Your words, they just keep on pouring out. But you don't mean it when you say that you'll be better, that you'll put me back together now. You don't mean it, but did you really ever remember you said forever now? You put me on cloud nine, wasting my damn time. Oh, but you don't mean it when you say that you'll be better. Remember you said forever, no, you don't mean it. I keep hanging on every word you say. You say we both know that I should walk away. By now I should've learned my lesson. By now I should stop from second guessing. But I keep hanging on every word you say. But you don't mean it when you say that you'll be better, that you'll put me back together now. You don't mean it, but did you really ever remember you said forever now? You put me on cloud nine, wasting my damn time. But you don't mean it when you say that you'll be better. Remember you said forever now. You don't mean it. You don't mean it.
Man, that young lady can sing, folks. She can sing. That was an amazing song. I tell you what I really liked about it. Her vocals were on point. I like the retro look. That egg chair, y'all, this is where you're going to be able to tell people's ages. Y'all remember the show called Mork and Mindy? That egg chair reminded me of the capsule that Mork came down to the Earth in. He came down, his spaceship was shaped like an egg. That's what the chair reminded me of. I thought it was super dope. Super dope. Hitch by Hitch. Appreciate the $5 super chat. He said, Triple T, who you interviewing next? Believe it or not, I have an interview tomorrow night with an upcoming country rap artist by the name of Cool Hand Luke. And he started hitting me up about 5 days ago saying that he's got a lot of stuff he needs to get off his chest. And he says he doesn't want to talk about music. I don't know what he wants to talk about, but he wants to come on tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Central. So stay tuned for that. I have no idea what we're going to be chopping it up about, but apparently he's got to get some stuff he needs to get off his chest. I don't know who it's directed towards or what it's about. So the only thing I can say is if you want to hear what's going on, you definitely want to be here tomorrow night. But that's who I'm going to be interviewing tomorrow. Cool Hand Luke from the great state of Georgia. So stay tuned for that. And I see 501 Bryce has dropped a new song. I'm not going to play it here because this interview is for Savannah. So what I'm going to do, since it's 9 o'clock, I'm going to end the stream. I may come back, may not. I don't know yet. I got to check some things out because tomorrow or Thursday we do have the rundown, and I still got to get some things ready for that. But overall, Savannah Dexter, once again, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule for doing this interview. I very well enjoyed it. You answered a lot of questions. You answered a lot of my questions. Hopefully, a lot of y'all got questions answered, what we were talking about, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. All right. So, with that being said, y'all know the deal. Be kind to yourself, love your family, love your neighbors, to include your enemies. Do unto others as you wish them to do unto you. And as always, God bless you and God bless America. Remember, this is not my channel. This is your channel. And I'll tell you that every single day. And as my mama used to say, may she rest in peace. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. This is Triple T with a live interview with Savannah Dexter. I'll see you on the next one. You have a blessed one. Have a good night, folks.
A triple T like the beam. I'm a dog off my leash. This the motherfucking dog pound. If you ain't heard of me, I've been on the dog my campaign and go up on the rampage. If everybody laughing, you should probably go and tell.